Mr. Speaker and my colleagues, I'm here today to talk about Bill S-232, or our version A-2212. Assemblyman McKeon did a great job explaining what he believes this bill does for the state, and I'd like to offer a counterpoint for everybody to take into consideration before you vote. The fact of the matter is this bill has absolutely nothing to do with environmental justice. The definition in this bill of an overburdened community, which is the basis for the remainder of all the parameters that are in this bill, is as follows. An overburdened community means any census block group as determined in accordance with the most recent United States Census in which, 1, at least 35% of the households qualify as low-income households. 2, at least 40% of the residents identify as minority or as members of a state-recognized tribal community. Or 3, at least 40% of the households have limited English proficiency. What's missing, ladies and gentlemen, from that definition of an overburdened community is anything to do with the environment. There's not one line in here that defines the communities we're trying to protect based on their current burden. It's solely based on race, economic status, and ability to speak English, all of which, last I checked, did not change the air quality or the water quality in a community. The sponsor has selectively chosen to highlight Superfund sites in areas that are convenient for his narrative, but has omitted them in all the other areas throughout the state in which they exist, which do not meet the parameters of what he hopes to be the defining definition of an overburdened community moving forward. The definition, as I said, is not based on any actual environmental impact or any health risk, but it's solely based on the income, level, race, and ability to speak English. If this bill defined the overburdened community based on the current level of pollution, the air quality, the water quality, or anything else that has to do with the environment, I'd be far more likely to support it. Another key point that I hope you take away from what I have to say today is that every single project that's subject to this legislation has already had or will have permit reviews and approvals at the local and state level. A lot of you here have been at the municipal level, and you know we have planning boards and zoning boards that deal with this stuff already. There's permit processes that deal with this already. In fact, we have some of the strictest environmental standards in the nation. And this is just another layer of review with unknown standards that are going to be applied to it. And I'm particularly concerned with how this bill will impact the existing Title V facilities that are out there. These facilities have been built at large costs and have been in operation meeting all the current standards. Under this bill, they'll be required to go through a new and unknown and not defined in this bill process when they go to get their air permit reviewed. This could potentially force them to close down, to cut hours, to stop processes, or have conditions imposed that make the facility uneconomic. And their sponsors have yet refused to put in any protections for those facilities into this bill. The existing facilities will also not be able to obtain financing to expand or fix their plants because this bill creates uncertainty into the process. And this will drive manufacturers and facilities to invest in operations in other states. This bill won't only impact the facilities that we're talking about, but it will also devastate the microeconomies of small businesses that these facilities support. In the 20 to 30 years of environmental justice discussions, no other state or EPA has done something like this. Not California, not Massachusetts, not Oregon. This bill will do nothing to solve actual problems, but it will succeed in driving out the manufacturing and the other industries in the state. And I want to reiterate one final time before I close, Mr. Speaker, this bill has absolutely nothing to do with environmental justice, and had it had something to do with environmental justice, something related to the environment would be in the definition of an overburdened community. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.